what do you say to those people who are now looking at capitalism, blaming the finger? And we know capitalism is not perfect, but pointing the finger, blaming capitalism, and openly welcoming communism and more socialism.
Yeah, first of all, there's indication that capitalism is running amok. Uh, Greed is playing a big role. When you look at the what percent of the net worth of in the United States is controlled by the top whatever 1% or like 0.1%, it has been rising over time. So we have a situation where fewer and fewer people have more and more power. So somehow something needs to be done about that, because we can lose our freedom that way as well, and we could wind up as an oligarchy, like or like China, or like Russia. So
Right.
secondly, um, I would want to say that the communist idea is a is very, very attractive. It's for particularly for young people. Like, can't we all get along? Can't we all, be the same? Why do we have very rich people and very, very poor people? It's a it, to argument to argue in favor of socialism, communism. There's a lot of ammunition. You look about poverty in the world and poverty in this country and also in your country, and you look at the phenomenal, disgusting wealth that's out there, where people spending money on things that I don't even know why you would spend money on on this kind of private planes and yachts and whatever islands. So that argument is very, very attractive. But the problem with this is it it has a foundation that is not true, and the foundation is the belief in the goodness of man. And you don't have to believe what Christianity says. You have to just have your eyes wide open and look into history and look at what happens today. The history of mankind is a history of murder and mayhem and evil coming up over and over and over again. And all we can do, that evil sits in all of us, the seed of evil. Uh, but many of us, the majority of us, know how to manage it. And we sort of like, occasionally we do some bad things, but we repent and we don't do a lot of damage. But then here's where evil comes into play in a big way. When you're talking about uh, erecting a society like a communist or socialist type of society, that means you are unifying a country or maybe even the planet. The only way to manage this kind of number of people, and we see this in industry when startups eventually grow big, the only way to manage this mass number of people is through a hierarchy. By the way, the founders of the United States figured that out. That's why we have this federated system to make sure that there is no authority vested in one single group of people or one person. And here's the thing. And when you look at history, every attempt to build one of those communist systems where everybody would be equal and happy wound up as a hierarchy, and eventually at the very top, the hierarchy was taken over by evil, and it became a brutal dictatorship. You see that in Cuba. I think Fidel Castro, when he started out, he was probably honestly trying to make a better life for his country. But when you take power in a revolution and you take power by violence, how do you retain power?
Violence.
Violence.
Mm.
Yep.
So that is that is the phenomenal danger that we face, and the problem is that Americans, particularly, I don't know about Canadians, don't know much about history, don't care much about history, and the lessons are there, and that will not change ever. So what I'm concerned with right now in the United States, I'm not so much concerned about socialism and communism. I'm concerned with with collectivism, which is just as bad. Okay, because what you have in Russia, it's not communism, it's not socialism. It's an oligarchy with a ruthless dictator at the top, in a ruling class. You know, the people that are surrounding Vladimir Putin are ruthless and evil, and they have no problem killing uh, women and children in pursuit of their goal of greatness and dominance. Same thing in China. And if they say it can't happen here, uh, I am completely convinced that it can, because what happened in Germany, in Germany was after World War One. It was a republic. It operated under democratic rules, and it was arguably the best educated population, best educated nation in the world, and it happened there, and it happened there really, really badly. And so I still, I'm still, uh, I still don't understand how that many good Germans who had goodness inside would show up at a mass rally and, to a person, 100,000 people in a stadium, make the Hitler salute when he talked about the evil that the Jews are. So don't tell me it couldn't happen here. And so what the stage we're in right now is that uh, there's a lot of dependency being created, particularly amongst young people who want more. They want more giveaways from the government, and then they would keep that government in power. And there's this unholy alliance between some of big business, particularly information technology companies, with the exception of Elon Musk. He owns a technology company, uh, and the government, and what we're witnessing is a generation or two generations of people, not all of them, mind you, not all of them, but a lot of them who are gladly giving up their freedom of self-determination and becoming a functioning individual for free stuff, like, for instance, uh, the canceling of the student debt, or just just getting free stuff. And when I say not all of them, my 12-year-old daughter is wired like me. She would not fit very well in that kind of into that kind of a construct. But as a minority, she would have to do the same thing that I did in communism. Adapt
Yeah.
so you can survive. I want her to be herself. She's incredibly bright, and one of the reasons I hope to live for a few more years. And I'm just so curious about what she chooses to do in life, because whatever she chooses, she will be really good at it.